That was weird, but let's do it anyways. So, if we are live, that was weird, but let's do it anyways. I tell you, I hate the delay on this thing, but we're going to go with it. Okay, so this is a live look. Damn it! Why is there still voice on this? There we go. This is a live look at Nancy Guthrie. Um, First thing I want to do is I want to show some of the data that was sent in to me. So I've been looking at Nancy Guthrie for well ever since she got taken. So I wanted to do a group view. So I have a good friend with me, never too late, and I have data from one of my friends from uh, my Discord, screaming into the night. So let's start out with the data from my Discord, and there we go. Now, can you see that? Never too late. Oh, okay. So what this is Aura sent this to me. If she sent me this data uh, when I asked for some help on a project. The project was Nancy. So what I'm looking at is uh, red building in a barn, two-door, hay, smaller and open, shadow coming out, a wooden fence wrapping around behind a building and barn, an old-looking wagon wheel with the metal rim. And let me get to page 2 here. Page 2 says Texaco gas station in a truck. So there's a Texaco gas station in a truck. Old ice box, door on top with latch, old beat up black, blue small car, gas pumps too, Texaco light up, big yellow star separate from gas station. Feeling of authority with star, dog, scarf, searching lots of people, flashlights lit up, wood dried leaves. I don't know what that word is, and tree stump, brown and orange leaves. So, and I don't know if you guys can see her picture. She has much better handwriting than I do. She has, I mean, it's just wonderful. So I wanted to show you guys that. This is again, this is data from one of my friends at um, one of the friends on my Discord. Now, if I can figure out how to shut this off, there we go. So right off the bat, we have a Texaco gas station, beat up truck, two pumps, and let's see what else is really important. And then I can't remember. Let me pull that up one more time. A blue small car. The funny thing is I had a I had kind of like a sedan looking thing. I don't think I'd consider it a small car, but on my data, I had a sedan or something. So I'm trying to find out where this is at. Okay. So let me get rid of this. Okay. So this is interesting data. Uh, she's actually seeing like an intermediary spot. Now, the deal is with this, I got this data, I think 2 days ago. So we're going to go 2 days, I think. So I'm not sure what to do with this because in 2 days, a lot can happen. And so, that barn with two doors and, you know, the white fence, is it white tapped wild weeds with white balls. So anyways, we have a building and a barn, two doors. We have a gas station. But it all hinges on 2 days ago. And the question is this a static event where they have hold up and they're dropping, they're containing things, or are they on the move? Um, because on one of my views, I saw a trailer, and I mean like a big truck trailer, which to me would be the easiest way. You could literally drive whatever vehicle you want into the trailer and then go anywhere across the country and nobody would think twice. I mean, you don't even have to get out of the vehicle. You just drive into the trailer and go. But let's go tractor trailer. If you have a building or a barn to pull the tractor trailer into, if it was a big barn, and you could literally drive this into, rather than sitting out in a, a yard where all the other trucks are, if you had an enclosed building to contain this, or a concrete tilt-up or something, you could literally drive into the barn, shut the doors, and the noise would be contained. If it was an insulated trailer, the noise would be contained inside the trailer. The barn would contain the noise that leaked out from the trailer. So it's kind of a win-win for whoever came up with this. The question I mean, location. One of the things I looked at was the location of I had a couple days ago, I had a car near a large commercial building. And the car was near a fence, the commercial building, which means it's going to have access to trailers all day long. I mean, they're going to be coming in and out. So any shipping that's done in these trailers is going to be near commercial areas, which, you know, I don't know. The thought that I really don't think this is a single person doing this. I think this is more than one, especially when it comes to Bitcoin ransom or whatever they're trying to do now. I keep hearing bits and pieces about that, how they're trying to get the family to pay Bitcoin. Again, I don't know if this is the actual group that's doing that or if this is just a random group of people that are, you know, doing, um, taking advantage of the situation. So my thought on this would be to one, we could look at, I mean, I could try to locate her now. It'd be so much easier if I had a group of us that were, could throw ideas out there. Um, Never Too Late had an idea that maybe has anybody looked into opportunity or advantage, somebody taking advantage of or taking the opportunity with this older lady. So basically, because she's not able to take care of herself, somebody can actually take advantage of her and, nobody would even think twice because they are known to her, so like a family member or something. I'm not even going to say the family member is responsible. I'm just going to say, has anybody looked into it? I'm sure they have. Um, which is a horrible, horrible thought. The the other aspect would be somebody that's familiar with the family that knows the routines of this person. And then again, that also comes down to more than one person, because if it's more than one person, it would be a much easier, to do. You would have more resources, you'd have much more things things to look at. So more people, more resources. And one of the things that I did early on, and I don't know if it's real or not, it may be an AOL, but one of the things that I looked at was a lot of interest from very bad people or very bad groups. Okay, so it's not that I'm saying that the groups took them. I'm saying that the very bad groups were very interested on what's going on, how this is coming together, and how everything's playing out. The other thing is it does seem like you had an event and you had more than one person, and I mean to get things going. So you had the first person, and then you had a possible second that may or may not have been part of this. So because it sounds like that somebody scouted out the property before this event took place. Now, this is all hearsay, and this is coming from the news. This is stuff that, you know, I I've heard. With the FBI on the case, we're not going to hear a lot of how it was done or who did it. So they're really going to shut the information flow down. And so the news agencies are really going to be working overtime to try to get anything out of this. And that's why I rely on, you know, our team to look at this. I mean, a Texaco gas station, a beat up truck, two pumps, building barn, blue small car, and then my stuff, which was a tractor trailer, a fence, a car, and a large commercial building. I mean, I don't have specific data yet, but I do have some interesting points that, especially about the interests of other people. The the cell phones are probably buzzing, and I'm not sure how they monitor all the information, but I'm sure there's just some interesting things going on. So, never to let you got any thoughts on this? Yeah, there's so much front loading on this now. I mean, normally try not to do heavily front loaded um, views like this. I mean, I failed miserably at finding that one guy that did what the hell was his name? Decker. I failed on that one. I can honestly say I absolutely failed. But then again, I was personally invested in that. I mean, I had a reason to go down the road that I went and look as hard as I could to find that guy. So I don't, I, uh, exactly. And so that's why I think I might be able to do a little better. Um, yeah, Decker was personal. I was out for blood, so that was kind of sad, but that's okay. So let's see if I can check in my. I've got multiple screens. Some there's a Texaco in Arizona still, and it's abandoned. It looks like the one I saw in my head in Loopton, Arizona. Now, so Aura did some research on this. She actually she actually found an abandoned Texaco station just like she drew with two pumps and on old 66. Now, if that's not interesting, I don't know what is. So, you know what? I'm going to put that up here. God, I love remote viewing. You talk about the middle of nowhere, man. Route 66. Wow. Uh, I wonder if it's still there. So, I guess that's near Loopton, Arizona. So the question is, so she saw she saw a gas station with two pumps. So one of her visuals was this. She found a abandoned one on Route 66. I mean, would this be something that should be looked at? I mean, should somebody go to Lufton, Arizona and find this 76 station, or should they just do a quickie search on all the 76 stations to find one with, an older 76 station that's active on a main route? I mean, that's the question of the day. But it is really cool that she found this one abandoned. I absolutely love that. So I'm going to leave that there. Uh, so I guess the first thing what we could do is we can kind of look at the help, current help situation. From what I understand, she has um, a bunch of physical ailments. So she is in bad shape. Now the question is so if I was to look at Nancy right now, right? Let's say I do a quick view on Nancy and I try to figure out her current mental and physical state. It looks to me like she's sitting up. Let's see if I can draw this sideways. So to me, this is, I'm looking at her straight on here. So I have kind of a, I'm kind of looking down on her. So I would be standing here looking, and I'm looking here. She has, her arms are across her chests. Okay. That's my current view. And the question is, I mean, how much am I going to be able to actually be able to tell about this woman? How much can I actually deduct or deduce from her current condition? Let's look at the, let's look at the heart. That that's the one without the heart medication. That's going to be kind of a interesting thing. As far as I can tell, she's either laying back on something like a cushion or a chair recliner. There's some kind of cushioned surface underneath there. And I'm not sure what this is, but it looks, it looks, you know, it looks like she's not going to be able to get out of there on her own. Um, so the question is she still alive? So I'm going to try to, you know what? I think I'll come back to that one. Let's look at, let's look at surroundings. So I have kind of a feel for the surroundings. You know, this is a cushion thing. It's almost like somebody threw something down that she can keep her head up for some reason. For whatever reason, it feels like she needs to keep her head up, and I don't know why. I mean, did she have a lung issue that I don't know about? Is there something to do with pressure? Pressure. Head up due to pressure. And I don't understand that. I mean, is it low pressure or high pressure? So let's look at the surroundings real quick. Again, it's dark here, so I'm sitting here trying to figure out why it's so dark there on the inside where she's at. And I got a feeling this is probably an AOL because I'm really fixated on a trailer or a Connex. So unfortunately, I don't know if I'm going to be any help on the surroundings just because of my fixation on her being inside this trailer or a Connex, and I don't know which one it is. Um, I have I have like what you would see in a trailer, like tie downs where the load ties to that. I have a big opening here. I have flats on the floor. I mean, this is stuff that I see, but again, I don't know if this is a AOL, and I'm going to mark it as such. But I'm going to go ahead and flesh this out because this is what I see. Um, it would be it would be interesting. So this is what I have for surroundings, immediate surroundings. This is how I feel. She's in the back, up toward the cab of the tractor trailer or whatever this is, all the way in back. And I appear to be looking through the eyes of somebody. So when I'm doing this, I'm looking through their eyes, looking down. So they're not tall, they're 5'6", 5'8". Um, and they're long sleeve shirt. So they have a long sleeve shirt on. They're 5'6", 5'8". Um, I don't know what nationality, but wherever they're from has very tall, very cold mountains. So I best I could do is what uh, I think I'm not really sure what if you go down to like say South America down to I think it's Ecuador or some of the places that are along that upthrust area. They have a lot of tall mountains, but this guy is from someplace. I mean, he could be from, I don't know, Canada for all I know, but wherever he's from has tall mountains and it's very cold. He's wearing a long sleeve shirt. This is insulated. Hmm. Oop, I've been checking my notes here. Okay. Uh, wouldn't it be wouldn't it be able to wouldn't it be better to do a missing person views blind? Yes, it would very much be able to do it blind. Didn't you do a view earlier, something about winter for an ARV or I could be getting things mixed up. All I know is at this moment, this guy who's looking down is wearing a long sleeve shirt. He's he's somewhere from very tall, cold mountains, and he's not very tall. He's just kind of an average height. Nancy is having issues where she's having trouble breathing, and they are keeping her heads up and her knees and feet up too. And I'm not quite sure how that works out, but I don't know what that would do. What would keeping your feet up do? I mean, is that like trying to keep the blood? I don't know what her heart issue is, so I'm assuming it's trying to keep the blood pumping through the heart. I don't know. All right, let me. Oh, you know what? That's too bad. I didn't take a screenshot. So what do you think? Never too late. What should I look at next? Yeah, yeah, yeah. And this is all this is I'm trying to gather bits and pieces of something that I have no clue about, and I'm trying to look at things that without letting the data overwhelm me. Um, so you were talking about looking at the data before, which was to me it felt like the setup, the data from 2 days ago, data from 2 days ago. That was a setup and delivery. Okay. So, I mean, think about it. You had a car parked near a fence in by a commercial area that had big trucks, right? There's broken glass, there was broken entry, there was blood over to what's her name? So it's like somebody went in, grabbed her, and took off with her. And supposedly there was a white van that was in the area. So this much I know. But my data showed this this building and this car. I'm just wondering if it's possible if the driver of that car, which is still there, if the driver of the car was helping with the delivery of this person, if the driver of that car was somebody who facilitated the the action. So right, but you got to drive to pick up the tractor trailer. So that's why I think there's more than one person involved. So this driver of this car near the fence was the driver of the tractor trailer. She was walked out of the building to a smaller vehicle, and taken away. And that's where I think two people are involved. You had this guy who drives the big rig. You have this guy who uh, scooped and grabbed and carted away. I mean, it's like now I'm looking at two people. Now, the guy that I saw today, the smaller guy from a um, mountainous region, was he the driver or is he the, escort? So you have a driver and you have an escort. So I mean, just the information that I got the other day was the location of this, which is on the, what was it, the east side of the valley, looking west. It's on the east side of the valley looking west. There's a slight rise, and you can kind of look over the valley where this guy's parked at. The chain link fence is on the west side, the commercial building's here, the car's there. I mean, it's on the east side of that valley. The question is if she's taken to another vehicle, which valley? And because I don't have really good skills at locating, I can't tell you which valley this was in. I thought it was in the valley, where she lived, but I could be way wrong. And the other thing that I saw was, let's see, from 2 days ago, is I saw water and it was stopped or dammed. So there's like a canal or a river that was flowing and then it came to a stop. So I don't know if that meant it was like a big dam because there is a dam in the area and there's rivers in the area, or if it's just a canal with, for irrigation where they have stops in it. So I didn't know. I didn't know how big this particular setup was and what it had to do with anything because the dam itself, the dam that's close by, is off in the northeastern side. Now, I can't imagine taking a tractor trailer up to a dam or out into the forest there or anything to do with that. But I can imagine taking you know, a tractor trailer or even a white van with no marks on it to a barn or something to kind of stash it inside of it. I just don't know how the stopped water or dam comes into play. Again, this is just something I saw. I don't know where it comes into. And I don't know how to put this information together. But again, that was from 2 days ago. Um, so again, looking at it today from where she's at inside, I see the opening going out. And then I also see looking down through somebody's eyes, I see Nancy. So, I mean, these are the two things that I do see. But I'm having a hard time going outside of this area to look where this is at. So I can't, for whatever reason, I can't seem to visualize if they're inside or outside. So I, I'm feeling kind of, feeling kind of useless here because none of my information is any good. I mean, there's no definitive, she's inside or outside. She's in an area that can be detected. I mean, she could be in a damn tunnel for all I know. Oh, no, no. I want as much comment as possible. If somebody has an idea or wants me to look in a particular direction, I am all for it. So if somebody has a comment or a direction or something I can focus on rather than my own thoughts, it would be much easier for me to actually get this done. I'm stuck and I can't seem to get myself out of this particular location. I need to refocus, but I don't know where to refocus. And currently, it's just really hard for me to see what to do next. One of the biggest problems with me in doing remote viewing like this is the fact that I get tunnel vision. I get tunnel focused, and I can't see what's plainly in my sight because I'm too busy looking at a particular aspect. And so being able to break free from that is, I mean, it's just so much easier. Oh, all right. So what can we look at? Let's look at
Maybe she knows. Maybe she knows. Try asking her. Possible she may have information.
She must have dinged her knee, her knee or her leg, because I mean that's just amazing. Um, I'm pretty sure she's not able to see much more than. So when I look through Nancy's eyes, I see boxes. I see people, chairs, power. There's power.
What are these people? Who are these people? Anything else coming from that?
Huh? What the hell? So I'm picking up leaves and branches. I'm picking up like tree limbs or tree branches or something to do with plant matter. So it's like there's some sort of organic plant matter. There's something about leaves or trees or
Right.
yeah, it's funny that she's cold, but there's power. Hmm. This guy's got a tummy. He's younger than me, in the 40s. This guy's younger than him. He's about 30s. Waiting. I only see two. Um, but tummies, it's funny because he's not fat. It's just that he's got this mid-gut bulge, and I don't understand why his gut does that. So very distinct feature. Every-
Ask him. Ask him what he's doing now. Why you have the tummy? What's up with your tummy, buddy?
Was it too much beer? Too much weed? God, he looks like a friggin' it feels like a pencil pusher. Books. This guy's hands-on. So he's more of a worker kind of guy with a he's rough. Um, Pencil pusher doesn't look very nice though, not from what I'm seeing. Wonder what the leaves and branches mean. I mean, why am I looking at leaves and branch? I mean, I'm literally looking at leaves and branches. It's like, is there leaves and branches where she's at? Is there straw maybe? Or, I mean, is there like just, I don't get it. I don't even know what color it is. It's just, it just feels like plant matter. Like, uh, yeah, I can't. I'm touching it. I'm looking at it. I'm sniffing it. It's just, what the hell is it? It really feels like straw or grass. And then the leaves look like leaves or vegetation. I mean, I don't know. It's really weird. I mean, is this what bundled marijuana or something? Is this a straw bale? I mean, bundled marijuana would make sense because, that's a high traffic area. Straw bale makes sense because it's a high farming area. I mean, I'm sure there's lots of farms down there. Maybe that's why it smells so, it's got that organic-y smell. I don't think Tucson has a thriving cattle industry or pigs. I mean, I could be wrong. Pigs or cattle, but why pigs? Oh, I know why. Never mind. We're not going to go down that route. I'm sorry I brought that up now. Yeah. Laura says if she had congested heart failure, keeping her feet up could possibly keep the fluid from building up too much. I did not know that. That is a good thing to know because I assumed, okay, and my co-pilot says elevate your legs always does something. When sitting or resting with it higher than your heart, elevate your legs helps prevent fluid buildup in the lower extremities, compression stockings, prevent fluid collection in your feet and ankles. Heart failure and swollen feet. Okay, so I wonder if that's why my feet hurt all the time. That's kind of interesting. I did not know that. So my co-pilot brought up a really kind of interesting point, and so did Aura, the fact that you've got to keep your feet up to prevent pressure on your heart. So if she doesn't have the medication, then that would make sense. That's why she's sitting in that position. Now the other question is she sitting on a bed of like covered straw to provide comfort or something? I mean, I can't imagine that's the case, but this is way out of my league. So the cool environment though is very interesting because Tucson, Arizona doesn't get really cool at night. I don't know why it feels cool as far as, I mean, there's almost it's dry, but it's almost humid maybe, which in a cool environment doesn't make sense. A cool environment would be drier than it wouldn't have that humid feel unless maybe they're near water.
So they could have driven all the way out, so they don't feel all the way through there from up to LA. Well, I feel that send it all the way down here.
Yeah, well, Right. Well, that's the question. If they start here in Tucson, which direction did they go? You know, are they still here in Tucson? Because one of the things that I was looking at was northeast. So northeast, they had the dam over here, they had the water, and they had all this stuff to the northeast. But I don't see any roads. I don't see any roads other than, you know, smaller roads. Google Earth.
Well, okay, if you're back there 2 days ago, can you narrow in on that, focus in on it further, and then go way out, outside time and real far away so you can watch maybe or get a feeling for what direction they go. Do you think you could do that still? You think about that.
Well, that's the thing. 2 days ago, the field was northeast. So I literally had a quadrant in which it felt like the direction they were going, and that's what I was basing it on. It's like, but the problem is when you back out of Tucson, Arizona, where the hell is it? Tucson, and you go northeast. There it is. Okay, there's nothing there. I mean, it's you're talking about Apache Sitgreaves National Forest. You got Flagstaff, Arizona. You have Highway 40. I mean, is it possible I got confused and they went south? I mean, but that would take them through a checkpoint, and I don't think you'd want to do that. Um, well, 2 days ago, I really felt like she was northeast, which means either they went up to Highway 40 or they took 10 across, took 25 up, and maybe they're up near, you know, again near Albuquerque. I can't imagine them being up at the dam, which is not too far from where that's at. There's actually a big dam and Coolidge Dam, but I don't see on Coolidge Dam, I don't see any truck pullouts. I don't see any reason why there would be anything there other than a lot of camping sites and pullout places. What, I wonder if here's a random thought. What about a what about a trailer, pull behind trailer, so a live-in trailer, and they're live-in and they're in a campsite. So if she did go northeast and she went up by a Coolidge Dam or a dam in that general area, that lake and reservoir has lots of parking. I mean, you have, oh look, Soda Canyon Complex. And I don't know what that is, if that's maybe that's houses or maybe that's I don't know what that is. But there's camping up there, there's trailers, there's places you can actually pull a trailer into, and you're not going to even be questioned because that's where people camp. And you camp with pull behind trailers. So I didn't even think about using an actual trailer to get around and contain. So there's so many variables on this that I can't see. Like what kind of trailer? I can't see other than the opening and back. I can't see what she's sitting on. I can't see the surroundings. I mean, does this have windows, air conditioning? But if doesn't an air conditioner pull the humidity out? I don't know. I don't know. Feel like I'm beating my head on a wall here. All right, so I tell you, where's Rush when you need him, right? I gotta, I gotta get that boy in here one of these days. Okay, so the map's not helping me. Um, my co-pilot has something full of cars. Oh, Salt River Canyon, abandoned gas station, and the river's full of cars. So I'm not sure if that's going to help at all. Okay, is the saltwater canyon viable? Let me get rid of this real quick. Let me back up here. Okay, so he's got one more map to look at. Saltwater rafting, Salt River. Why is it called Salt River? Seneca Lake Recreation Area. So there are a lot of places to camp at in this particular area. Highway 60, it looks like has a lot of pull-out campsites. So, that's kind of wild.
Yeah, back to the two guys you saw. Maybe you could a little deeper. See that if you know where you're going, buddy. Where are you? What do you intend to do, guys? You know, like I tell them places, the word, or a location coming out of it. They must be the only ones that can tell. Maybe you can pick something up from either one of these people, perhaps.
This one is more concerned about um, personal self, taking care of himself, feeding himself, making sure his self is good, making sure things stay on track than this one. This one does not, he does not think like this one. This one's more cold and calculating, but both of them are waiting for something. They're waiting for, I got a Starlink.
They're good truck or they're rocky. Are they just in the work?
Well, that's the thing is I don't feel a tie to anybody or anything. This is why I'm kind of wondering if they're doing it themselves because these guys over here, we're going to call them Group A, is very interested. But Group A is not part of this. Group B is very interested, but on a different level. These two are literally waiting for something. The tummy guy is uh, I'm not going to say scared, but I'm going to say scared and cautious. So the two guys that are near there, one of them's scared, one of them's cautious, the other one hand on rough. And it feels like only one of them deals with her. So there's actually only one that deals with. I tell you, I'm getting mental images of IVs and drip and things, all these things to water. I want to say saline, but I'm not even sure it's saline, but there's just stuff to keep things going. But again, this is an AOL, right? So this is a big ass AOL. I can't imagine that you have plant matter and an IV kit. That's just crazy. I don't know how much of this is just my imagination putting things in place. It does feel like there's a Starlink. We have communications. My question is who are they communicating with? So the signal goes out, it bounces around. That's where these guys are very interested because they're actually, I don't know if they're part of, but they're intercepting or listening to the communications of what's going on here. You have phones, you have boxes, you have power, you have everything. I don't know. I don't know. Is one of them a nurse? I think I think Tummy is not a nurse, but has basic hands-on skills. That's why her feet are up. It's kind of like she needs to do this in order to not, be in pain. So I think this guy is more of a rough and ready, and this guy is more of a thinker. So the intelligence is not high on this one. This one's a little bit more intelligent. It's kind of interesting. He is definitely a down-to-earth kind of guy. All right. Now I'm feeling kind of worthless here. I'm thinking that I have got absolutely no new information, and it is kind of funny. That's okay. You know what? At least I'm trying, right? I'm giving it my all. So if anybody out there wants to add to this or maybe wants to point me in a different direction, you guys can always reach me on YouTube or whatever. Um, throw out whatever thoughts you got. I don't have a lot here to work with other than the fact that what I see, which could possibly be very big AOL, it does feel like there's a Starlink involved. It does feel like there's multiple people and the groups A and B, which are extremely interested in this and what's going to happen. So um, these are not feds. So the groups A and B are not the people you want to be have focused interest on you. So it should be interesting. This is definitely a wild case. So any last thoughts there? Never too late.
No, that's it, Jeff. I don't have any comments or anything from the live, so I don't know. Maybe yeah, we- we'll maybe have another look again in a little while, something like that.
Yeah, yeah. Why not? Why don't we'll just try to do this, and if something new comes up, we'll take a look at that. If we get new information or somebody wants us to look in a particular direction. My co-pilot asked, would normies know how to do an IV drip? No, an IV drip is just a bottle of fluid tied to a tube and a needle, right? And you just put it into the vein and you drip it. You have a, you've got the bottle, you've got the valve, you've got the tube going down to a vein. You pop it in, and then you just turn it on, right? You just got to know how not to, drop too much, right? I mean, that shouldn't be hard. You don't have to be a nurse. That's just basic skills, wouldn't it? I mean, you could literally look up on the internet how to do that, I think. I don't think you have to have any um, special training. And blood pressure testing, shit, I can do that. I could test for blood pressure. So, all right. So yeah, we'll do this again, and hopefully more people will start trying to do this too. Maybe we can get some good information out there, and never know. But contact me if you want me to look at a particular direction or any particular thing, and we'll give it a shot. And I want to appreciate everybody out there who actually watches this and responds, man. I really do think it's really cool that you guys listen to this and watch it. So, all right. Well, thank you very much, and I will catch you all later.